This is the Buwwy breakdown for Tuesday, June 21st, 2022, and today we're going to be talking about movie theaters. Ooh. Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the show today. Yesterday we talked about Lightyear, and I was initially going to talk today about the console wars and the current state of those, but I actually kind of wanted to change up the topic for today because I had a thought last night, or yesterday afternoon, pretty much right after that recording, because I was talking about Lightyear, and I was thinking about my experience at the movie theater, and I was looking up different YouTube videos to see if other people had a similar opinion that I did, and I couldn't find many people in the last couple years talking about movie theaters. Not too many people. So I'm like, maybe I'll make an episode about this because I feel like it's something that a lot of people feel now, but isn't necessarily being said. I know Red Letter Media has done a couple in their half in the bag. They always complain about the movie theater experience, and I just kind of want to talk about what the deal is with it, because this isn't like a rant on movie theaters. However, it is a video about how much I do hate them. But okay, so when I was in Lightyear, we had this family. I was with my parents for Father's Day, and we were watching the film there, the Alamo Draft House, and this family came up next to us, and right as the movie started. So it was after the previews. They were late for the film. It was like we were a minute into the movie, and they come in, and there's a young child, probably no more than 1 year old, and he was fine for a little bit, but then pretty much after a couple minutes, he started to make noises. Now, to the family's credit, about 15 minutes or so after this all started, 10 to 15 minutes, they took him out. I think the wife, the mother, took him out because they had another kid that was older and much more well behaved. But those kinds of experience, and so it was miserable for the first little while of the thing, and not to mention that they also had spilled their drinks. The same family. There were numerous sounds going out throughout the theater, and when we were walking in, there was vomit that nobody had cleaned up yet, and it was all over. And some of these experiences are not that great. It's actually probably probably one of the worst movie theater experiences I've had since going back to the movies. I've had plenty of terrible movie theater experiences, as has everybody else ever. It happens to a lot of people a lot of times. So I'm sitting here after the movie thinking, man, I would have rather just watched that at home. Fuck that. Lightyear is not a film that I care to see in theaters. I don't care to see actually any of these films in theaters, because I feel, for me, seeing these films from the convenience of my own home is very, 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 very fun and nice. And I think people that are pretentious about the movie theater experience, they're not wrong, but they bug the shit out of me. I hate people that are so intent on having the movie theater experience. I get that going to the movies for decades has been a a staple of culture here, but it's come to the point where technology has changed so drastically that it's come to the point where movie theaters just feel like a relic of the past, and I don't know what we're doing. I have no clue why we're doing it. It's a miserable social experience that I'd rather just have at home. I mean, think about it. When you're at home, you can pause the film anytime you can pause the film. which alone, to go pee, to get something to drink, maybe even have to take a shit or something. I don't know. Maybe you have more pressing emergencies going on that you have to pause the film and then come back to it at a later time. Whether that be 5-10 minutes or a few hours or even a day, I don't know. But it's important. No, it's not important, but that's a big convenience factor. I mean, that's giant. That is something that is is very nice to have, as well as just being able to watch it in your own home, wherever you want, wherever your TV is, on your own couch, on your own bed, instead of these stupid ass recliner seats, which are fine, but they don't go back that much. At least at the Alamo Draft House, they don't. And also, I'm honestly sick of these commercials. That was the thing that kind of brought it up for me. Commercials in front of movies are the most archaic thing I think I've ever seen in my life in terms of a concept. Why are we paying not only, however much it is for ticket, like $12-13 for tickets? In addition to that, we're paying for concessions if you don't sneak in stuff, but you're paying concessions are even more expensive. Not only all of that, where there's branded shit, where there's a branded AMC cup with Coca-Cola, or there's you get your popcorn in a big AMC box. No. Well, you get that, but we also have to have Nicole Kidman do a like 20-minute AMC commercial that will play in full when you're already watching a fucking film at AMC. That makes no goddamn sense to me. In addition, AMC's the worst, by the way. They are the worst offender of this, because not only do they play more previews at the beginning of films, I'm convinced of that. Maybe they don't, but I feel like when I went last, they played like 5-6 previews. I went to Doctor Strange last time I saw a film at an AMC, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness specifically. And they played like 2 different AMC commercials. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? I get one of them is to get your membership out. Like, I know like you want me to buy your little movie pass thing, which sucks. AMC, what is it, like first in line or AMC Gold? Something, I don't know what it is, but that, and then Nicole Kidman just watching these stupid fucking movies. It's just that kind of shit has to stop. And previews in front of movies also has to stop. With the thing of the internet, with that little thing, people can watch trailers online, and I get that a lot of people would say, well, smaller trailers don't get the, if they're played in front of Doctor Strange, they'll get so many more eyes than in the internet. And it's like, you know what, I don't give a shit. I'm sorry, I don't give a shit, because I paid money to watch the film. I didn't pay money to be advertised to. In the current day and age, even though it's looking like Disney Plus will have an ad-free option on things or whatever, but Disney Plus, you pay for Disney Plus, you pay that, you expect no ads. When you pay for Netflix, you're expecting no ads, not to be advertised to. The higher tier of Hulu, you're expecting no ads. You're paying all these things, which again, you're paying a ticket alone for one film is more expensive than a subscription for a month to Disney Plus at least, in which you can see a lot of original content, as well as most any film that's been released in the last 70, 80 years by Disney, which is big, as well as up to recently as a few months ago. You can see any film in that, and you're not advertised to. I think advertisements and shit at the front of movies is a thing that just needs to go. I do not understand why we do it. I really don't. And when you think about it, the average I don't know how many movies the average moviegoer sees, or family, or whatever. If it's a family, this is a much different story. Let's look it up. How many movies does the average family I should say in theaters, because I don't want just general movies. Okay, it says in U.S. theaters is about 2 a year, which seems low. Oh no, this one says. Okay, I don't know. Let's just say the average, something that sounds good. I'm not gonna get anything from there. Something that sounds good to me is like 5 or 6. I think that's a fair. One every 2 months, one every 3 months. I don't know, something around there. So let's just take 5. I mean, if you're a family, this is a much different story. If not only, let's say you're a family of 4, you have to pay, let's say it's $13. $13 times 4. That's $52. That's plop. There you go. $52 right on the table. Probably a little high. I think average movie tickets are lower, but that's as high as you're probably getting there. Not only that though, you also have to pay for concessions if you're getting popcorn or soda, and God knows what they charge. I know they charge $7.50 for a fucking large soda at AMC. Large soda, I think candy and I don't even think well, no, maybe large soda, candy and popcorn I think was like $16. It's ridiculous, and it's got to stop. The overpriced concessions are something that bothers me. But you're paying that. I mean, with that you could buy, if you're going to see 5 or 6 of these a pop, and you're thinking of investing maybe in a better experience, you could buy a really nice TV. You could buy a fantastic TV with that money. A very nice TV, and eventually TVs become cheaper and cheaper, and with more features, and we're just starting to get to the point where TVs the detail is getting as good as you're gonna get it, right? Like, I mean, it can get better, everything can get better a little bit, but it's starting to improve so much has improved so much that detail is going to become unnoticed, and the change as we go further. So we're starting to reach the height of that. And that's great. That's great. And I think families should take note of that. Even an individual, you can purchase a nice TV with that. I mean, and then, you can start thinking of sound system. I mean, if you're plopping down in ticket costs alone, $300, I mean, you're a year, if you're seeing 6 movies or something, 5 to 6 movies, you're that doesn't even include concessions. I mean, come on, you might as well just purchase a really nice $1,500 TV that you can use for the next 6-7 years, which if movies release them like they did on streaming, you'd have your own damn fucking movie theater. And that's another thing I want to talk about, the stubbornness of studios to go back to the theaters. When I was, and I know a lot of people disagree with me on them, well, maybe not, I don't know how people feel about this generally. When movie theater, or when HBO put their 2021 entire slate on HBO Max. Now I had HBO, I believe. Yeah, I purchased HBO for that year as well. Not the whole year, but month by month. But still, so I liked this. They released their entire 2021 slate on HBO day and date with their films. And that was fantastic. I loved what that was. I adored that, because I watched a lot of new films, and I watched, like, for example, let's take Godzilla vs. Kong. That's a movie that everyone would probably say, like, oh, it's really good in the theater. You really get the scale of it and all that stuff. And, I was in my dorm watching it in my 55-inch TV. I do have a nice TV. It cost me a pretty penny, but I do have a very nice TV, admittedly. I love that TV. But no, I watched it on my nice 4K 55-inch TV. Didn't even have a sound bar, no sound system. I just listened to the audio from the fucking TV, and I was fine. it was an enjoyable experience. I still love the movie just as much as I'd like it. I had fun with the dumb action just as much as anyone in the theater would have. And I have nice headphones. Plop those headphones on, dude, and you get your own surround sound. I mean, it's I mean, I don't know. It's just like I really enjoyed that. I also enjoyed when Disney put their films on Disney Plus with the $30, and I'd pay that. I'd fucking pay $30 even alone, but the fact that I could pay $30 to watch it with somebody else or a group of people is a very nice advent. I know they charge that because a lot of people that would watch a Disney film is probably a family, and if the average ticket price is around $10 or something, Disney gets that. Disney gives families a little bit of a break, makes individuals pay a little bit more, and we get a lot of more stuff from that, and I really enjoyed that. That's how I watched Black Widow, Soul, Raya and the Last Dragon. Luca was free, I believe, though, but actually I think Soul was free too, so I guess the only ones that it was paid for was the Black Widow and Raya, I think. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Onward. I think Onward was another one. Maybe not. I don't remember. I don't think so. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is I enjoyed those premiere accesses, and I think that's the future. I think just as games did 7 years ago, embraced day and date digital releases, I think movies should do the exact same. I know it's not exactly comparable, but it kind of is. I mean, it kind of is embracing the new technology of digital goods and stuff. Put it on iTunes, put it on Amazon, or if there's a streaming service that your company owns, put it on the streaming service, and it's your choice if you want to charge or don't charge. It's a business decision. I'm not going to make it, but that's what we have to start embracing. That's what we have to start doing. I'm really sick and tired of going to the fucking movies. It's a miserable experience. I mean, you have to, and it's not just me being lazy. I mean, it kind of is, but I just don't like. First of all, you have to go to it, which is annoying to go somewhere to see a movie. You're just going somewhere to sit in a dark fucking room and watch a movie. It's not necessarily an experience. And it's just, you never know what you're gonna get in terms of people, and a lot of the times they're obnoxious. But okay. Now I know a lot of people would probably say, "Well, Jack, don't you like seeing applause when you go to a Star Wars film or a Marvel film?" No, I don't. I really am not a big fan of that stuff anymore. I used to be, kind of enjoy that, but now I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm cynical about it. The thing about when people clap, and okay, well, I get what people like movie theater experiences when they're big movie, like Spider-Man was recent, right? I get why people would want to go see that on the day one with a bunch of other people who are excited to see it and are vocal about that. I get that. I totally understand that. That is a kind of a amusement right there. And I'm using the Martin Scorsese like it's a theme park ride, which is true. I think a lot of those movies, and I think what he was saying there is accurate. Marvel movies are fucking like a theme park ride in the sense that he's not saying that they don't have an emotional core or a story to tell or interesting characters. It's not any of that. He's just saying that these movies are made to elicit different emotions, and these movies are made for a different appeal than cinema or whatever. I don't know. Cinema. I don't know. But they're just, my interpretation of that is he was just saying that these are different types of movies. This is just a genre of movies. It's not any better or bad than other movies, but it's a genre that is overtaking movies because there are so many of them, and there is demand. I will give Disney that, but I feel like also Disney has had a they're not how do I say this? Disney is kind of controlling the movie theaters with all of that. I mean, I remember back in like 2017 when The Last Jedi or Force Awakens were coming out, and Disney was forcing a lot of movie theaters to play more and more Force Awakens if they wanted to even have Force Awakens in the first place, which is, right? They do that shit, and they have the leverage to do it. I mean, sure, but and they do similar stuff with Marvel movies, and Disney kind of has a stranglehold on a lot of that. Anyways, but I get that appeal. But nowadays I'm more cynical about doing all that clapping and shit, because it's kind of old hat. It's kind of like, I feel like it's kind of lame. Like, I'm not saying you're a loser if you go to a Marvel movie and clap your ass off at fucking something, or when you see C-3PO in Rogue One, or fucking Leia in Force Awakens, and you clap your ass off or scream or something, you're a bitch. I'm not saying that necessarily. I'm just saying I like movies, for me, to be a more quiet experience where I'm allowed to kind of not groupthink, and enjoy the film on its own merits and to me and myself with no other influence, if that makes any sense. I just don't like when movies, I think movies are weaker when they know what the audience wants, which is a weird sentence to say, but I think it's an interesting one, because a lot of times, like for example in Force Awakens, when I watch some of those scenes back, like for example when Leia gets off the ship, it's so obvious that it's an applause line. The end of that movie with Luke Skywalker, it's so obvious that it's an applause line. A lot of stuff from Avengers, any Avengers movie, or a lot of different Marvel movies, it's obvious that it's an applause line or an applause break. We're starting to get to that point in movies that's kind of annoying me in that sense, where if you rewatch it becomes a lesser experience, because and that's true with Easter, like when C-3PO and R2-D2 were in Rogue One. It's a fucking applause break. Even Darth Vader to an extent. Not really, because that scene had a point and a purpose, but it's just starting to annoy me a little bit. But what do I know? What do I know? I mean, I don't know what the gauge of people are at all. But yeah, and I think all of that is made for the movie theaters. I think we'd get much more interesting films in general if there were only streaming services, or not only streaming services, but if films could be able to thrive on streaming services, like, everything everywhere all at once. I wish would have played in a on a streaming service, so I didn't have to go to a fucking movie theater to watch that movie. I don't think it would have affected my enjoyment of it at all. It probably would have made it better. I wish more movie theaters came out on that. And also, streaming services can elicit some good indie stuff. I mean, art house films, there are some great art house films on Netflix. Just look up art house films on Netflix and you'll get a bunch of them that are interesting and unique and from other countries, and a lot of them Netflix has produced. I mean, they have the little, Netflix film on the banner. They helped make this movie, and I appreciate that, and I like that. And with streaming services, you can get something like Squid Game, which I don't think in most anything would have been that big a deal. But once it kind of took hold, it's kind of this weird thing that took off. The Queen's Gambit. A lot of these viral. I know this is shows and not necessarily movies. So I guess I'm kind of going on a different tangent, but movies count too. There have been plenty of movies that have blown up, because of Netflix on Netflix and Disney Plus as well. It's rarer, I think, for movies, because shows are just like, really in right now. But, There are many benefits to having more independent, in more interesting stories than just superheroes fighting. I'm starting to get tired of that. Anyways, I don't want to go on a whole tangent because now I'm just probably going to go on a whole tangent about Disney and Marvel stuff. But yeah, that's I think that'll be the end of my little rant on movie theaters. I think in closing, theaters. I don't want to say I hope they die out because obviously I don't want people to lose their jobs. I don't want a whole industry to go kaput. But also, I think it's just time. I think it's time we let theaters die. I know we're trying to prop them up. I know Tom Cruise is trying to release, fought to release Top Gun Maverick, which I will admit, the sound in that movie was fantastic, and it benefited from a giant movie theater sound system. But, I kind of would trade that to watch it not at a movie theater. I think it's becoming obsolete, and I think a lot of, especially, and I don't think this is any like Gen Z lazy fucks thing. I think many families with kids would love that. I think they would love to see Lightyear at home, so they don't have to worry about taking their kid to go see it, which is a big thing. And if you have a child that is like 1 year old, you have to say, am I going to bring them? I know they're going to cry. We're going to have to deal with that if that happens. Or do I get a babysitter, which is going to cost money? Not to mention it's a whole thing. I mean, going to the movies with a family is difficult. So being able to just watch it from home and spend time with the entire family and just be able to do everything in the convenience of your own home is not just a lazy millennial Gen Z thing. It benefits literally everybody. Any normal person. I think theaters should still exist. I think the Alamo Drafthouse should still exist and they play, old movies and they play more niche movies. They can play big movies. They can still play big movies if people want to see those. But I think movie theaters should become, and they will become, a more niche kind of thing for people who want to just have that experience. It becomes like drive-ins. That's what I think is going to happen. And that's what I hope does happen. I really do. I'd gladly pay $30. Fuck, I'd pay $40 in some cases. I'm still saving money over fucking concessions, as well as, when you think of expenses as a whole, even an individual saving something relative if they get food at the place, if they pay for the ticket as well as gas. You're getting close to saving money. You might pay a little more, but all of the rest of that savings, or that extra cost, is simply the convenience fee. That's essentially what it is. And I think parents I think families, obviously they will be saving money no matter what if they have like 3 people. And then, couples too, they'll be saving money. Everybody will be saving fucking money. And it's just baffling to me that we haven't gotten to this part with COVID. I thought COVID would prove this, but now so many studios are trying to do the thing where they're releasing movies, and they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. They're trying to release the movies and as well as get people to sign up for their streaming services. And I just don't want the two to coexist like that. I don't think they can, and I don't think they should. And I think the benefits to everybody is greater, and it just sucks because it won't benefit the movie theaters. That's it. You have to let that one industry die if you want everybody else to succeed, and to have a great movie theater experience or movie watching experience at their home. Anyways, that's my conclusion on the discussion of movie theaters. I think they're terrible, and I wish they'd die out. But in the comments, I'd like to know what you guys think. If you disagree with me, give me some points, and I'll address them in the next episode probably. But tomorrow we'll be talking about Kenobi, because I don't want to talk. I never want to talk about these Disney Plus shows unless something interesting happens or there's a big controversy in something. I don't necessarily want to talk about those shows, which there's actually always a big controversy, but I don't want to give an opinion technically on the show until after the full show has come out. So since tomorrow is the last episode, I will be talking about Kenobi on tomorrow or Wednesday's or Thursday's episode if I don't get it out. Any updates as well. This channel changed its name to Buwwy, which is the name of my Twitch. I stream there every I'm gonna start streaming there every night. I just started streaming my new nightly schedule yesterday, and let's hope we can get it to a point where I do it every night, which is what we're hoping for. But I will be putting stream highlights on here. I'll be putting shorts on here, as well as these episodes of the Buwwy Breakdown. So this is just kind of going to be anything that isn't on the main channel. This is just kind of my catch-all. I'll be uploading way more here. I'll probably be putting more work on all said and done. But you know, but my main channel is the Buwwy Badger. Buwwy Badger is just going to be for those high quality, 20-minute, 30-minute green screen videos that they'll all stay the same consistency. I want that channel to just be just those videos. They come out relatively slowly, so I just want that to be there. I don't want to inundate that channel. I'd rather inundate this channel. So yeah, we'll have stream highlights on here as much as I can, and then we'll have shorts here. I also have a TikTok that I just made. I have one short up there just to test it out. Just to test out doing TikTok as well as just doing shorts in general. It was an old stream like years ago. I just wanted to pull something that I thought was pretty funny and just put it on there and see how it works. So a lot of times you just have to put stuff out there. So that's what that is. So that's all the updates. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe and go watch my other Buwwy Breakdown videos. Go watch anytime I don't have a Buwwy Breakdown video. Also, I'll just put a stream highlight on. I have a bunch in the backlog, so I have a bunch privated right now. The first series is the Minecraft with Chris series. That was 3 episodes, so when I don't have one of these, I'll just put one of those up. So we have content coming. I'm going to try and make uploads daily on this channel because I think I'll have enough content to do that. We'll see, though. We'll see. Probably, yeah, no, I will. We'll be good. So whenever there's not a Buwwy Breakdown, there'll always, hopefully, be a stream highlight. So that's all I have to say. I don't want to make this episode too long. I'm making these episodes shorter and shorter, so it's not too bad. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for the Kenobi review, and I'll be reviewing the entire series, not just the end. But yeah, anyways, have a good day. Whatever you do, and make the most of it, and I'll see you tomorrow.